Insider presents Geek Speak with Matthew Harris and Meredith Lachlan. We cover entertainment, news, and tech with special guest appearances. So sit back and enjoy as we geek out together right now.
Good evening, everybody. This is Meredith Lachlan with Geek Speak, and I'm sitting with my co-chair, Matthew Harris. Tonight's special guest is Yash Jain. He is the founder of a fitness app, Hero Trainer, that launched in April, and users have walked over 800 million steps while they've been using this app. It's kind of crazy. Let's drop the card here and introduce our guest.
Welcome to the show, Yash.
Hi, everyone. It is really a pleasure to be here on Geek Insider. I love what you guys do, so it's wonderful to be here.
Well, I'm going to move you over here. We're going to do a little bit of shifting and get you on the big screen here. Yash, why don't you introduce yourself, and then I have an opening question anyway.
Well, introduce yourself and tell them what Hero Trainer is, because I know our audience. We got a lot of gamers out there, a lot of folks that love a lot of different games, and this is going to be right up their alley.
Perfect. Yeah, I think you did a great job summarizing it, but Hero Trainer is a free mobile app on both iOS and Android where users can earn rewards in their favorite video game for exercising. So this is how it would work. So you would sync your steps from Google Fit or Apple Health to the Hero Trainer app, and every 1,000 steps gets you a point, or in our app referred to as Aura. And you would use those points or Aura in the marketplace for a game reward like $10 in the PlayStation Shop, or a fighter pack on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, or even recently we've even added fitness classes because we're trying to bridge the gap between fitness and gaming together. So we really have a bunch of different things and a bunch of different rewards planned for the future as well. But right now we've covered gift cards for all the every console, including mobile, and have a bunch of different games and on as well for individual rewards too. So lots of great things going on right now for Hero Trainer.
So my opening question is, what was the motivation behind this? I mean, obviously you look fit, and so fitness has got to be part of your life. And for an app, it takes a little bit of geekery and tech savvy to do that. So what was the motivation to kind of bridge these worlds?
He saw a lot of fat geeks is what happened.
I was like, this is I need to fix this. No. It actually does stem a lot from my personal life. Like I really struggled in my life to stay fit. It would be very my motivation would be like kind of phase out, in and out. I'd be like really hard going for about 2 weeks, and then it just kind of declined. So right now you say I look fit. I actually look more malnourished, I think is the word you're looking for. The other spectrum, the people who forget to eat.
Weight. Yeah. This is what happens when you're single during COVID.
It's like, food, please.
No, that's what happens when you're like really super busy because you just launched an app and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like, what day is it? And when did I eat?
Exactly. Yeah. Meredith and I are always like that. We'll go, man, I'm hungry. Well, damn, I didn't eat yesterday. We definitely know how that is, yeah. One thing that I wanted to ask you mentioned that y'all are adding a lot more games. Y'all been adding the platforms. Are y'all going to be adding other exercises in that correlate towards this or count towards this as well? Or are you going to just stick with the steps kind of thing?
No. Actually, we are planning on adding. We actually built out the feature to allow people to earn rewards for like weightlifting, swimming, and rock climbing, and a bunch of different exercises. But those require gym access. So we purposely removed that feature to not encourage people to mingle or go outside in the enclosed spaces, just to prevent the pandemic from being even more of a shit show than it already is.
Very cool. Hang on. Let me do this. Let me put that up right there for this.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
No. This is for my question. you know how geeks are. And Yash, I hope I don't offend anyone out there, but you know how geeks are. And the exercises you're putting in there, you know, if you added masturbation, you guys would just be all the number one app. Look, Mara's hitting me in the background. I'm sorry,
You
folks.
went there. You went there.
Hey, wait,
Oh
we're
my
only
God,
5 minutes. 5 minutes into the interview.
Oh man.
I'm totally kidding, folks.
Well,
No, this is a
I
really
heard
cool
that
app.
people got in trouble for their Fitbits because of that. So I'm just saying, all right, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, but that's not what this is, okay?
No,
Yeah.
it's not. I just had to throw it out there,
But
and I've only had one.
I'm sure there's probably some people who are probably, taking their phone or their smartwatch or something and somehow getting the steps. We haven't caught every single angle for
And there's that commercial where the lady puts her Fitbit or whatever to the dog, and he's running. She goes, "Look how many steps I already did."
Yeah,
And
I'm earning for games now.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, yeah.
and I love that. She's like throws the ball and lets the dog go and get it, and she's earning her steps. And you could be earning some cool swag in game these days. Because folks, I mean, I don't play a lot of games these days, especially not the multi online player stuff where you buy things. I don't do it. I used to do it a lot, and I know how hard it is to earn that stuff without having to shell out your hard-earned money. So for an app like this to come along to where, yes, it does also encourage us to get off our asses and do something, but it's not just get off your butt, mom telling you to get away from the computer. It's, hey, if I walk to the store every day to go get a bag of Doritos and a what was those energy drinks? I forget now. But if I do
like
do
Mountain
that,
Dew or
right, Mountain Dew. I'm trying to think of the one that was twice the all the sugar and twice the caffeine. That was their advertisement. But that's the kind of cool things, the cool kind of innovations that we do need to see. That sees a trend. Gaming, it's not going anywhere. We're up to what, the 5th generation on PlayStation and Xbox, and we're those of us that grew up with a side-scrolling Mario, we see these 3D games, and they are just getting better and better exponentially. And World of Warcraft, I got a 25-year-old kid that spends almost every waking moment playing that game. And so anytime that you can do something that is a betterment for self, as well as giving them perks for that stuff that they're doing already or wanting to do, maybe interested in doing, that's pretty damn sweet. And going to the genesis part of it, when did you have this initial idea? When did it go from, I got this idea, to finally being launched?
Yeah. So about like a year ago, actually 2 years now, again, really struggling with the fitness thing, even before Hero Trainer. Just, I played a lot of video games. I'm an avid gamer, like been a gamer my entire life. But I always tried to, take care of myself health-wise, but it always became really hard because, anytime I would spent away from gaming, I would feel like I'm wasting time because I'm like, I could be getting my character so much further with gear or loot or anything. So I kind of came to this like, I get this flipping point where I was like, I care more about my game character than I do about my own life. And I was like, health-wise. So I was like, there has to be like a way to do both at the same time. And obviously there's like Pokemon Go, like Wii Fit, and all these things, but they eventually get bored. They eventually get boring because it's the same game over and over again. And with something like Hero Trainer, I was like, well, there's going to be new games that keep coming out, and we have to keep you exercising. You can always be working to the next latest thing, so you never lose that kind of momentum that you have, because you'll do Wii Fit, you'll be done after like a week, unless you hear about those grandmas who've been playing it for like 10 years. But for most people, especially like the younger generations, they're just like, this is like, next thing, let's move on to the next thing, let's try this next game. There's so many things to try, and that's how I think that's also can be used as a motivation to get people to go.
So, Yash, would you say that you are more like tech geek or fitness geek?
I would say tech geek for sure.
Yeah. So what was it? What was it like? Kind of staying with the Genesis story. What was it like to try and get a team together to develop the app?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, so I am a tech geek, but I wouldn't say I'm a really good, good coder by any means. So, um, from like I could probably have coded Hero Trainer myself, but it would have taken me like 10 years. So, like, my background is in biomedical engineering. So I have have that degree there somewhere, somewhere hanging around my brain that I could use to build it, but. I ended up working with a team of developers, and we've been working back and forth. It's a very ragtag team because it's on a budget. So um, that's kind of how it started off. Not too. There's no employees. I was actually considering hiring last year, but I didn't want to dive into that because I was like, if I can't guarantee my employees, uh, you know, their job for more than a year or even beyond that, then I don't feel comfortable doing this.
Hey, man, I can definitely respect that. A quick question on that aspect then of you putting together this team. Was this something that was self-funded? Did you do crowdfunding? Did you have some investors? How did that come about?
Yeah, so this has been self-funded. I've been just kind of over many years. I had like a rainy day fund that I've been kind of growing. Originally, I didn't really know what it was going to be for. For me, originally, it was like, in case of a major life, major accident with health or something, I could use that because, healthcare in the US type of situation, you have to pay your arm and a leg for anything. So I was like, I'll just keep this just in case. So then I decided to, gamble a little. And, I was like, I don't have a house. I don't have kids. I don't have any really major things to worry about in case this goes bust. Might as well try essentially this gamble and see what happens. Either way, I'll learn a lot. It could be a complete just explosion of what I was trying to do, or a failure. So uh, that's kind of, and I have raised like a very tiny amount of funding from family friends, but nothing. Most of it
Right.
is coming from myself.
It's kind of funny because when it comes to crowdfunding and things like that, it's really hard with family and friends because they're the ones who, like obviously your parents have seen you, they've changed your diaper. So it's like, yeah, he's doing this thing again. And your friends are like, yeah, I picked him off the floor because he drank too much, whatever the case might be. So it's really hard for that your immediate circle to take you seriously. You almost have to get that step beyond with them.
No, you're completely right. I
Yeah.
from my friends and family stuff. Like people are like, Josh isn't the brightest kid here, so what is he gonna be doing with
What's he doing now?
with this money? It's like, yeah, but
He wants me to invest in what?
yeah, it's like video games. Is he just gonna be playing them? Like, what's going on here?
Now, up on the screen, anybody who's tuning in and you're watching on the YouTube channel, make sure that you head over to Geek Insiders on YouTube. That's an S at the end of that. And hit the subscribe button. But, up on the screen here, we have the Hero Trainer website, tracking steps, earning aura, get games and DLC. Definitely head over there to herotrainer.io.
And look, we have somebody here. It's called Creating Chaos, and they say, so far, I'm loving this app.
Thank you.
I don't think we've ever seen that person comment before, and so not that I recognize the name anyway. So that is somebody who has checked out the app, Yash, and is enjoying it. And this is one of, like I said earlier, this is one of those kind of innovative things that we really love to have come across our desk here at Geek Insider, because we get quite a few of these things, especially ones that are starting Kickstarters and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And you kind of touched on this earlier, Yash, and I know that what we call the worldwide pause or the great pause has really interrupted a lot of this. But did you have and do you have partnership ideas or partnerships in the works with any kind of gyms after the world opens back up?
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at, like, your bread and butter gyms, like, Gold's
Goals.
Gym, 24-hour fitness. That's actually what we're considering. We had that feature built out for allowing people to check in at gyms, and so they could log any exercise they wanted um,
Sweet.
with that. But yeah, we're just waiting until everyone's kind of, or the world's less in the pandemic stage.
Right.
But no,
It comes at
you have your head in the right, like, wavelength for what we're doing
cost.
here.
Well, it's just because I do see the great potential in this app. You've got all different kinds of things that'll count your steps. You've got watches that'll tell you when it's time to run or when it's time to even poop or whatever. But an actual reward. I was actually, a lot of people don't remember this. Back when the .com bubble was going on, I was involved in Beans, which was a reward company. It's kind of like S&H Green Stamps. And you got these rewards for just doing basic things online, and it went nuts. And so I definitely see the potential in this. And Mara is showing me the Scream character, which that means that we are past time for a break. So everybody stand by for just 30 seconds. Yash, if you want to get something to drink or scratch your head or something, now's the time. And y'all stand by while we pay a couple of bills.
Have you ever wanted to be part of a writer's room? Come join us on Creativity in Progress every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Twitch and YouTube, the CIP network, where creativity comes to life.
Hey, that was too short. That was 15
seconds.
I was like, my water. It's like,
Fastest 30 seconds ever.
Where's the do we have the mobile edge loaded back?
I've got to get that back up, but go ahead. Let's continue. Everybody who is tuning in, this is Yash Jain. He is the founder of Hero Trainer, the fitness app that you can earn points for gaming.
Well, you can earn points for gaming, for working out,
For working
even
out.
walking, for just
Well,
walking.
whatever your motivation is, I mean, here's the thing. I forget how many days I'm into it. I started this thing because I'm 49 years old and I cannot lose weight just because I've changed my eating habits. So I know that I have to exercise, and having something like this where it has that motivating factor. And that kind of segues into the question I want to ask you, Yash, is with the points that I'm earning, can I gift them to somebody, or is it stuck on my phone?
right now it is stuck on your phone because people are very, as gamers, they're really good at gaming the system, so
Yes,
they'll like
that's
amass the
unfortunate.
points to, people will start like
Create
an
cloud
aura
account.
farm, just
Yeah.
like in like World of Warcraft, or like people gold farming or something. Then we'll get into some, people will always look for ways to unfortunately cheat the system. So we did have the idea, and then they were like quickly like, let's take this off. People are really abusing this.
Yeah, because I could definitely see if there was a way to gift it, you're going to start seeing your own black market appear. Just like and I'll admit this, I made tens of thousands of dollars off of Habbo years ago. Habbo is this stupid little game, but people would pay great money for these little green freaking couches. That was the currency in that game. And anytime you have something to where a value can be attributed to anything, even pixels, people will start attributing a monetary value to that, and you could start seeing sites pop up to where they're going to sell their points that they have accumulated on your app, and hey, I got 20,000. I'll gift it to you for $100 or whatever. They kind of, because they will set their own monetary value on the points, and which it can still be good for you. It really can, because it gets that demand going. But if it's not careful, then it can crash the whole system. Beans was stupid. I was talking about Beans a minute ago. They flew me to New York, and I was the first. And I had a meeting on Wall Street.
Wow.
But because they had created this major demand for these things. They gave out millions of them. Okay, when somebody buys something from your website, give them 100 beans. Well, and the whole thing was you were going to be able to redeem those beans for something of value. They never had anything to do. I opened the first store to where people could come to me and redeem those and get monetary, physical items. I made a boatload of money, man. I mean, my checks were fat, and I'm talking tens of thousands a week. And I told them, do not put a monetary value on this. If you allow them to start trading it in for gift cards or cash, you're going to crash. You have created the internet's first monetary system. Don't crash it. Oh, that's brilliant, bloody brilliant. This is in New York. And 2, 3, 4 weeks later, y'all can change them in for gift cards. So then that was only anything anybody would buy was these gift cards. So long story short, I think it's smart not to ever let them be gifted, because one wrong misstep could crash the whole thing.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
Since I talked the last 5 minutes, you ask a question.
Well, I wanted to know what it was, that process, I guess, of trying to get a meeting with some of these guys. What kind of relationships do you have now? And if you can give us a little insight of what might be down the pipe as far as those relationships, because I know with the gift cards and stuff, it's pretty easy where you can kind of front the money and have those available for shipping and stuff, or even just the virtual e-cards and things. But when it comes to those relationships with maybe like esports or Gold's Gym or Planet Fitness and things like that, have people been kind of taking your call?
No, that's an excellent question. Especially when I started out, I don't have any professional gaming background. I didn't work for any gaming company. I was actually in the biotech space. And so when I moved over here and I'd be like, hey, like, can I get a meeting? Or a lot of people would be like, who are you? Like, why are you reaching us? Like, because you looked at my, like, they'd look at the email, they'd look at the LinkedIn page, and they're like, these don't match. Like, who are you?
I'm a guy chasing a dream, damn it.
Yeah, seriously. And then the other difficult part was like finding the right emails and the right people to talk to, because usually a lot of gaming companies have, the only way you can go through to like the high levels is you have to pass the gatekeeper, who is like the support at blah blah blah.com, and usually those people are like, nah, like, what are you doing? Like, just go back to playing video games. Like, you don't have a business. And eventually, like, I was like, okay, I started kind of reaching out to a lot smaller indie games and medium-sized game companies. So one of our partners is Minion Masters, and the name of the game company that built them is Beta Dwarf. They generate 5 to 15 million a year or something along the lines of that. So they're a relatively mid-sized gaming company. But the founder, for some of these, like, it's very easy to get in touch with these people on their Discord channels. And that's how I make the connection to them. And, talk to the moderator, or they'll actually have the developers in their Discord, and from there they'll be like, oh, I like this idea, like let's talk about this more, how can this help us. And to the other part of your question, as far as upcoming things in the pipeline, so we have officially partnered with an esports team. It's done on paper, but can't announce it until we actually get their stuff on our app. But we are looking to partner with everything affiliated with gaming and fitness.
Very cool.
So like example, like if you wanted to drink like G Fuel, or like get your Razer mouse and things like that, those are other things we're exploring down the road.
Very cool. So
But
I'm gonna
go
put you on the spot. You've had some. You've talked about the good aspects of you reaching out. Has there been any games that you started talking to or even got involved with? And I won't put you on the spot as so much as calling them out, but that it just turned out to be a fiasco, and you're like, "Holy shit, we're out." Has there been any kind of that stuff?
No one's like, so I don't think I've even made it to that point with people. It would just be like, immediately they'd be like, silence, or one person would be like, never email me again. I think that's the most I've ever gotten. Like, never email me again. Like that was it. I was like, I don't know what I said to really offend you there.
Well,
Just want to help people get healthy.
Well, and I tell you, I get that stuff too, Yash, when people will go, these are the rules. You're not supposed to contact me unless I contact you via email. They throw out some kind of laws, and I'm like, look, I was just asked you a freaking question here, man. I ain't trying to get your damn banking account number.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what was the biggest challenge then of going from blueprint to launch? What was the biggest challenge?
Honestly, the biggest challenge was finding the best way to track steps and sync steps. So there was a lot of bugs and issues with that. So originally, when I built the app, and we did an alpha launch, like we did an in-house step tracker. So like the app had its own step tracker because we were worried about people typing in the number of steps they had and being like, oh, look at me, like I walked 10,000 steps today. But so
I walked to New York and back.
Exactly. It's like I've gone around the world. But with that in-house step tracking thing, it was such a mess. Like the problems were very inconsistent, and with the ragtag development team, like things were really going off. So like really disheartened. There was so many people who were excited right when it launched, and because of that first month or 2 months of experience, for some people they were like, I'm kind of done with Hero Trainer because this isn't working for me, and that was such a bad feeling. But we originally then we decided to shift to Google Fit and Apple Health, and we realized there was a way to actually filter out things that are input manually into both those both those step tracker things. So
that was one of the questions that I had. Was is it based on like how many, when you walk, obviously your arms swing, so was it kind of based on that, or is it like GPS based and things? Can you tell us a little bit about that, or is that kind of
well, if you put it to the arm swing thing, we could go back to what I was discussing a minute ago.
Strapping the phone to the dog.
Right.
Or the other one. Oh man. Yeah. So the GP. So I know for Google Fit, so they use location and there's like a pedometer in the phone that's able to the shaking, and I'm never gonna think about it the same way anymore.
Ruined him. You ruined him, Matthew.
And
Hey,
then
as long as I can make an impression.
and then the Apple just requires the pedometer. They don't require location. So those are fine permissions.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about the avatars and things? What was the idea behind that and creating these characters within the app?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the when we came out with Hero Trainer, one of the feedbacks we got from a lot of people was there's not much to do in the app besides check in and see if they have enough points. And we were like, okay, so we want to, gamers, we want to make this more of a game as well, because there could be other ways to really bring those elements of getting people excited. And so with these avatars, they grow kind of like, think Pokemon, where they kind of grow. Think more like Pokemon Go. They kind of grow as you walk. They get more powerful, and kind of the way they start out, the vision behind it was we have these characters who look like they're defeated. They have like broken armor and things like that, and they come to become super powerful towards the end. And the idea is, you're all heroes, but you're just becoming your best or your best self. You're like bringing out that hero to what it could be and where it was once upon a time. So that's kind of the message behind it, and kind of where the avatar feature kind of came in. But right now it's just very simple level, but we're going to be adding more game-like features to it. Like, you go out for a walk, you'll find items for your character,
And you got to let them fight each other, man. If you're going to let the people build up,
Exactly.
come on, let's let them fight, duke it out.
Oh, for sure.
What would be cool is that if you had, it's almost, well, I don't want to say dating app, but maybe a fighting app. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
if you're on Hero Trainer and I'm on Hero Trainer, and it's like, let's duke it out, and you have those. I don't know. I'm thinking
Who
like
can do
Dungeons and
more?
Dragons and stuff, and those meetups and things where you can have those tournaments almost in real life, but like with your app too. That would be kind of cool.
That
But
would be cool.
We're like,
Yash, we're
totally-
at the 32-minute mark. We're gonna. How are you on time? Do we have you for a little bit longer?
Yeah,
Awesome.
you got me. This
We're gonna
is a lot of fun.
We're going to take a quick bump here, and I think this is truly a 30-second break.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
we'll be right back after this.
Sounds good.
We'll be back right after this.
Check it out. MobileEdge.com has award-winning products with innovative features and contemporary, edgy designs that empower you to look sharp and travel smart with your mobile tech. Your beloved, not to mention expensive gaming gear and mobile tech devices are an extension of you, so give them the protection and style they deserve wherever you go. Find them at MobileEdge.com and protect your tech with Mobile Edge. Bring it on. Hey Geek Insiders, Mobile Edge has a special coupon code for our dedicated listeners. Get 25% off your Mobile Edge gear using coupon code GEEK25. That's GEEK25. Geek out.
And for
All
the
right,
eagle eyed,
everybody, we are back with Yash Jain. Matthew, go ahead. You were saying something?
I was going to say, for the eagle-eyed among us, where they see that coupon code says expires December 31st, 2020, that is wrong. That coupon code has been extended. And if you have not been to mobileedge.com lately, guys, they are not only doing their, kick-ass gaming backpacks, because they realize, there's not a whole lot of the gaming stuff going on. They've got a whole new line of products that are for your computers, power supplies, backups, just all kinds of cool things. And just a little insider information from Geek Insider. We are going to be giving away some of that cool shit this year.
Mm-hmm. Stay tuned for that. And we are back with Yash Jain. I had a follow-up question about the avatars, the characters and stuff. How much customization can we do for those? Or
Hang
is
on.
it kind of like in-game where it tacks on as you use the app?
I just saw that Yash was one of our eagle-eyed people. He messaged me in the background and said the coupon code is expired.
No, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, I have to update that. Yeah, thanks, Josh.
No worries. So right now we just based on our development team size, there's no character customization per se. You have like three fixed heroes that you help power up at the moment. The future, we are planning to extend that to, making them very customizable. But I think the base version of the character may or may not be there, but like you would be able to customize certain type of outfits and things like that. One thing we are playing around with is for influencers down the road, we're going to make a custom character for them, draw someone, build their own character for the app, and then their fans can buy a custom skin from them or whatever, support their stream that way, to help promote them and also promote streamers and also the app. So that's kind of some of the things we are considering.
Very cool. Now, Yash, we don't have a huge audience here, but word gets around. So if you could throw out your wish list, what are the top 3 games that you'd like to see you guys be partnered with?
Yeah, no, excellent question. So I would love to be partnered. Now, this is a bit of a very hot take. given
I'm saying the total wish, genie comes out of the bottle, says,
sure.
You can have what 3 games you want.
Would love to partner with Cyberpunk 2077. Despite their very rough
after
launch, they fix it, add all the promised features, that would be phenomenal. I'm very interested in there's Immortal Phoenix Rising. Like that would be really cool to be part of it. Just like it's kind of like Legend of Zelda or Breath of the Wild meets like Assassin's Creed. It's really, really cool style game. I didn't really know too much about it. Then I saw trailers and stuff like, wow, this is so sick. I need to get this game. Haven't gotten a chance to play it, but it looks amazing. And I would say the last one is just because I really love this game. It's kind of a core of my life is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Everybody loves
if I ever get one, exactly. I wouldn't say I'm nowhere near anyone's skill level.
I suck at it, but it's fun, and of course that has a huge following. They have the gaming conventions all around the country for Super Smash Brothers. I could definitely see that being very popular. Personally, I can't play first-person shooters. I have some kind of weird crap in my brain. It gives me motion sickness. I actually get physically ill playing first-person shooters, which sucks. I can play first-person drivers, first-person flyers, but a first-person shooter, that moving around, I'm screwed. And that's been all the way since back in Doom.
Wow.
You know what, Matthew? Like you and I, we have like these old eyes, old brains. All right. I mean, I'm still on like Super Mario Brothers.
I love Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, where mom would come in and say, "Let's go save the princess." So any of this 3D stuff is just like, oh my gosh,
I could play 007 GoldenEye, which is a third person. Basically, first person. Excuse me. You are looking through that, but I can play that just fine. Me and my kids used to blow each other up all the time with the proximity mines. But Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, I think what it is I move too fast or something. I get motion sickness. Somebody told me, hey, try Dramamine. And I was like, look, man, I like drugs. I'm all about drugs. But if I got to take drugs to play a video game, I'm out.
That's next level.
Yeah. Taking drugs, taking some LSD and going into virtual reality, I'm for it. Cool. I'm there. But taking something just so I can play something. No, I'm just totally playing. Folks, don't do drugs. Kids,
Yeah.
don't
Kids, don't do this at home, all right? Get Hero Trainer, download it, and go get some exercise.
don't do
So,
drugs. Get some exercise.
Yash, I did want to ask you about the guilds. How does that work?
Yes.
Yeah, so kind of going, you guys were talking about competition
Yes.
and like fighting each other. So right now, this is the closest way for that to happen as a group. Right now, it's well, thank you creating chaos for the comment. I love it. So with the number of steps you walk every season, and a season is about 8 weeks, and you would walk, depending on how many the total steps at the end of the 8 weeks, your guild would rank on a leaderboard, and based on where you rank, you would earn extra aura, which for like if you're at the top number 1 spot, it could be, basically a full reward just off the bat. And just for participating in the guild thing, we already give you like essentially like a couple days of walking, just because we want to encourage people to connect with other people, because there is an in-app chat feature. So, you guys were also referring to that dating app portion of it, but it really is a great way to like connect with people, meet people who get encouraged for fitness, but just other things. We have like a cosplay guild, and they just meet up for discussing like crafting and dressing up, and they become really good friends through that, in addition to encouraging people to get fit. And
well, we have a lot of cosplayers that tune in, and so guys, if a lot of y'all are also game players, it sounds like you need to check this app out. It's got you double teamed here. And go ahead, Matt. I almost called you Megan. What the hell?
I don't know, Matthew. What
You're
the hell? Are
I
you
think I need
stepping out
another
on me?
whiskey.
You might be stepping out on me. I don't know.
Well,
see what I did there?
my wife or your husband.
No. So, Yash, I wanted to know: have you thought about maybe trying to forge some relationships with things like March of Dimes? Where you can walk for health and earn money and maybe donate to a good cause or something like that.
Yeah. Actually, so we have partnered with one nonprofit for veterans with PTSD, and so they actually reached out to us, because I didn't even think about this possibility, but they reached out to us. It was like, hey, we have a lot of people who struggle with staying healthy, and they get kind of really in their heads. So this could encourage them to even play games, hopefully not related to war and stuff, but play. I was gonna say, like, I don't know if this is the best thing, but play games, and also kind of be able to get out and mingle with people, get healthy at the same time. So we are working with them on trying to find a good way to essentially donate money after you've earned enough points as well.
Now, the next question that I had, and then we'll take a break after this, one last break. We have met so many just really ingenious and creative people. We talked a little bit about that before we went on the air. But one thing that we have known or noticed since launching in February of last year, that people approach the pandemic in one of two ways. They either really buckled down and they got creative and they really focused on the projects that they had lined up, or they just kind of shut down and just shuttered in. How did the pandemic affect y'all's launch? And did it make you more creative and think outside the box of what y'all initially planned? Or how did it affect y'all?
Yeah, it was. So the worst, I think, problem that was coming. We were actually just about to raise some fundraising from a pretty decent sized investor, and then like it was just like 2 or 3 weeks before the pandemic hit, and then when that happened, the guy and all potential investors pulled back. They're like, we got to put our money into we have to put our money into our existing companies and save those companies up. I'm like, you sure you don't have, check your pockets. You might have some extra millions, laying around there, other pocket, maybe co-pocket. So
Check
that
the
was
couch.
like,
We'll take 50,000.
yeah, exactly. We'll take it. Yeah. Just any pennies, So it really that was, I think, where a lot of stress was initially put in, because I was like, I have this kind of like, my rainy day fund that's starting to kind of dry up a little. There's definitely a lot of stress being put there on my my personal life. Like, my girlfriend's like, what are we gonna do? Like, what are you doing? Like, get a job. Like, stop being, hero trainers. I don't think you can survive off of that. So that's where like a lot of the challenges happen for hero trainer, and like the development slowed down substantially. Where like people would have bugs, it would take a long time to fix it. So we definitely hit like a dive first before we started to steadily increase back in the right direction. But I think the best part of this whole thing was, eventually family and friend came around after being like, okay, like Yash could use this money, but the community there was a lot of great energy there, and a lot of them were very thoughtful people, and they were like, hey, like, we love your mission, even if you stumble like basically every day, like, we're here to make sure this mission goes through, and let us know. People were very supportive in that way. So it really made it, such a tough time for most people, including myself. So exciting that we had people who were excited to really see this mission, or as they were passionate or even more passionate than I was. So one person even wanted to get the logo tattooed on himself, and I was like, okay, did you talk to your wife? Like,
it's a cool logo. It is a cool logo.
But there is, go ahead.
Well, we're actually going to be right back after we do a quick bump. We're going to do two. We're going to give a little shout out to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, as well as the Sunday Funnies. So we will be right back.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there, on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
And we're back with our special guest, Yash Jain, and he is the founder of Hero Trainer. Make sure that you head over to herotrainer.io and get some information about that. Head over to your app store, download it, and give it a try. Yash, I wanted to ask you about possibly, have you looked at crowdfunding? Because we've seen tons of apps, tons of tech, and all kinds of creative endeavors on things like Indiegogo and Kickstarter and things like that. You have a working app, so it's not like, people are going to be waiting for development. It's just like it would be to improve it. So is that something that you've looked into?
Yeah, so actually I did try running a Kickstarter for Hero Trainer once, and I like most of my way through Hero Trainer, I've like kind of hit every tree branch on the way down. It was not a successful wasn't even, I guess I didn't know the best way to utilize Kickstarter. Like, my ad, I guess, wasn't as professional, or my rewards for what people would get if they put money in now. Like, it was very hard to, I guess, get people to raise money, even family, friends. So my goal for back then was like raise $50,000, and I hit like 4,000. So I was like, okay, so I definitely need to change the messaging or really reevaluate what I'm really trying to get across.
Kickstarter is really hard because they are all or nothing. But if you head over to Indiegogo, they have those flexible goals.
Mm-hmm.
So if as long as
the money,
right, as long as you establish the deadline, and then you can always tack on more time or have on demand and things like that. So it's kind of the Kickstarter is really hard. Having a campaign on there myself for my book is just it's very stressful to see that goal that you want to reach, and it's like the needle's not moving, and you know that it's all or nothing. But I would definitely look at Indiegogo.
Even if it does move, then sometimes it goes back because somebody takes their freaking pledge back.
Yeah.
And one thing that I wanted to say a minute ago, what you touched on, the girlfriend say, you're not making no money. Well, you've got this good looking picture over here with a dark beard and the dark hair. That's the before. This is the after. And so to show her this. And some say that the gray is the new sexy. I don't know for sure, but all that black, I guarantee you, bud, we're going to meet. Where are we at? We're January 19th, 18th. We're going to meet this time next year. I bet you got so much more gray because of just what's coming. But, again, going back to what I said at the beginning, I really do like what you're doing here. This app is ingenious. I think it's filling a niche that has not been filled. And rocking and rolling and giving the gamers something that they can actually work towards it's just makes common sense. And it sounds like, you hit some roadblocks with the pandemic. You've hit some roadblocks with the gyms, being shut down. But you guys are doing what it takes. What makes every geek successful is we back up, we reevaluate, and then we roll forward. And that is so true with any indie creator. You're an indie. You backed this yourself. You didn't go out and get a shit ton of millions of dollars to back this up. You're self-funding it. Your girlfriend has cut you off now until you start making some money. And, we know how that is. Real quick, because we haven't touched on this much, tell everybody where they can get the app, where they can follow updates, where they can follow you, where they can get everything.
Yeah. If they run over to our website, herotrainer.io, that's the easiest way for them to get access to the iOS or Android version. And they can click the links there for App Store or Google Play. If they want to keep track of what we're doing, we're most active on Twitter and Instagram. So our handles for both are Hero Trainer at Hero Trainer app. Because someone took Hero Trainer, not cool. They didn't think about us, So yeah, Hero Trainer app. It's like, come on, guys. But yeah, that's the best way to follow up on updates. We do have a Discord channel as well, and that is full of, again, people from all different backgrounds. We have like a former NFL player who's just big gamer who's also part of these channels. Like we have esports hosts to, regular gamer to American Ninja Warrior to just anyone you could it's just very interesting what kind of gamers are out there. Everyone has a different different niche they fill.
That brings up a question I had earlier and I'd forgotten about it. Is there any and I know you can't talk too much about things that are in motion, but has there been any kind of outreach to Twitch? I know that is a popular platform for gamers. And so is there anything that, is kind of in the works to get going with some of these gamers there?
Yeah, we are actually, I think in the next week or two, we're going to start unrolling like a formal influencer plan, and that people can actually can apply for or participate in. And I think what we struggled with earlier is like we did some very tiny influencer things on Twitch, but the numbers didn't quite add up because the people we I guess we're targeting just didn't have that same base because we didn't do our homework on who follows or who's clicking. So what we're doing around this time is really finding what kind of people resonate and learning more about their backgrounds and who are their fans, and then from there going forward. But yeah, the right idea again on Twitch, being probably one of the best platforms for this.
Right. I could just see so many good things with that kind of partnership. Go ahead, Meredith.
I was going to say, so we've got about 5 more minutes here before we end the broadcast, and I'm going to pass the mic back to Matthew to ask the final question. I've been practicing, but I usually screw it up, so I'm like, yeah, you just take it.
I have started going through 2020, going through the questions, and yes, you screw it up quite a bit. But
all the time. It's okay. I accept that. Okay. I accept that.
but yeah, so the question that we ask, and it trips some people up, and others got that answer just right off the bat. And then that is, and I kind of want to change it up, but I'll keep it the same. It's, if you could go back in time and give your younger self just one piece of advice, what would it be?
Talk to users earlier. That would be, I think one of the biggest challenges I had was I kind of assumed my story as a gamer was very similar to other gamers, but there are just so many, the term gamer is such a broad category now. You have people from so many different spaces. So trying to really understand what was driving people here and bring them towards the app could have saved me a lot of headache with, trying so many different features that were completely useless or there was no point putting all that effort and development time into, especially given my tight budget with what I could do.
Mm-hmm. So I guess because normally we would close up, but I did, it just popped into my head. Have you thought about maybe looking at the different conventions as far as gaming conventions and Comic Cons and things like that, where you have the cosplayers, you have the gamers and things like that?
Great question.
And maybe your app there.
Yeah. We actually were just at the Consumer Electronics Show, but we are looking at more gaming focused shows as well, like maybe eventually having booths and things like that, or having we kind of have a drawing for kind of where the Hero Trainer logo comes from, and I was like, maybe someone can dress up as this gigantic armored Hero Trainer knight, essentially. With a big hammer. So
where are you located at? We never did ask, Josh.
I'm in San Francisco.
So you're right there where there's some kick-ass conventions, and of course the world is paused right now. Meredith was actually able to go hit a small convention yesterday, folks. There's going to be some highlights of that. There is some highlights up on the YouTube channel. And there will be some highlights up on geekinsider.com. If you are listening out there on the podcast, which of course is available everywhere, don't forget, we broadcast this show live every Monday and Thursday on our YouTube channel, which is, Meredith pointed out, is /Geek Insiders with an S. And then our Facebook is it Geek Insiders as well? I don't think so. I think it's just Geek Insider. But anyway, you can find us. You'll see my ugly mug. You'll see Meredith's beautiful face and her pink hat and her pink wig and all the good things.
just look for the Geek Insider G.
Yeah, just look for that G. And I will tell you, folks, I did promise that Geeky Cheeky and Downright Freaky was coming back this week. things change, we will be coming back with that show. We've got a lot of cool stuff planned for that this year. Geek Speak, the show you're listening to, watching right now, we've got some killer guests lined up for the rest of January and going into February. Yeah, Yash, this has been really great, man. I mean, we don't get a whole lot of the tech world. We try to, but there's just not a whole lot that like coming on camera. A lot of the folks in the tech world want to stick behind the cam, and we've had that time and again. We definitely appreciate you joining us tonight and sharing this, because I really think that this is an app that it's not just some run-of-the-mill thing that is trying to raise money. One, y'all are already launched. Two, y'all bring something unique to the table. This isn't anything like we've seen before. So, Yash, tell them one more time, where can they find this hero app?
They can find it on our website, herotrainer.io, which will take them to the App Store or the Google Play Store for downloading it for their respective devices.
All
Fantastic.
right. And on that note, we hit the hour mark. Yash, thank you so much for spending some time with us and sharing about Hero Trainer. On that note, you guys have a great day. We will see you on the next
Thursday.
time. And if you don't hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, you better just turn in your geek card now, right? I'm
who do we have Thursday?
down.
Oh, wait. Guest is still unknown. We do have someone for Thursday, but they haven't confirmed yet. Check back.
All right, you guys have a great night.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.